very often. I wasn't on social media, so the thought of having an online business isn't something that I really ever thought of until about, well, 3 years ago now. So it's actually, though, I was looking for a solution as far back as 10 years ago. And for me, the issue I was trying to solve was, well, I was really, really burnt out. I've been in the corporate world for a long time, and my retirement years were coming close, but I wasn't close to what I wanted that to look like, right? So the lifestyle and the security that I wanted was, it seemed kind of out of reach. So I needed to look for a plan, and I kind of needed to do that quickly. So, by career, by the way, I'm a research historian. Now, I know not a lot of you know what that is. It's a very unusual job, and there's not a lot of me out there. But basically, what it means is I do a lot of time researching, right? I love details. I will find things that most people can't find, and that's just what I do all day. So, when I started to look, I had all kinds of criteria, and I was digging into all kinds of things. And at the time, what seemed like a logical thing to do would be to start a food truck. And it fit for me because I just love cooking. Like, I absolutely love cooking, and I was already cooking for large groups. And I also knew that I wanted to work for myself because I'd been working at my career for years and other jobs before that, always giving away my skills for the gain of someone else. Like the corporation, the owners, the managers at the higher levels were always gaining more than I was from my own effort, right? And I kind of wanted to flip that over a little bit so that it was more balanced. So I thought owning my own business was great. Food trucks seemed like the solution. And to make the story short, I actually did that for 8 years. I gave my good effort into it. I wore all the hats. It didn't take me long to figure out, though, that when you have your own business in a traditional sense, brick and mortar style or on wheels as mine was, basically the business owns you. And it really owned me. I would be gone for days on end, working literally 18 to 19 hours a day in that food truck, just exhausted. And I thought, wow, I can't do this much longer. I'm not getting younger, and I'm not going to be able to do the manual side of this forever. And quite frankly, I'm going to be so burnt out that I don't even know what I'm going to do for my retirement. Maybe I'll just sleep for 15 years. So there wasn't really the plan that I was looking for. So back to the drawing board. So being a researcher, I dug and I went to the internet instead of other kind of places I'd gone before. And it really became obvious really quickly, as Warren Buffett said, that we need to be online. That's really the only solution. But that was really new to me. I was always kind of in the traditional office environment, and later on doing my own business. So I hadn't really gone out of my comfort zone yet. And so that was learning something new, and I was approaching 50, and I thought, oh, can I do this? I'm not sure. But, eventually I came across this program, and it checked all the boxes. I mean, all the numbers that they showed you there on the screen earlier, it's true. In fact, when I was researching and figuring out, okay, what's it going to take to start my own online business? It actually, to do it well, would have cost me a lot more than what was even illustrated earlier. So I knew that what I was looking at really made sense, and I had already been looking for a year. Literally, I thought, I'm not going to stop researching until I find what I know looks right, feels right, and sounds right. So all the data was already there. I'd already researched it, and then just watching all of this program unfold, it just made so much sense. Okay, so I dived in, wonderful, and I started to learn. And what I loved about it is that the training was really step by step. So even though this was kind of unfamiliar territory, even though I'm not a young whippersnapper anymore, I learned it. I learned it quite well, and it actually was fun. So personally, I was always a very shy, introverted person, but doing this has helped me not only financially, but personally really come into my own, come out of my shell, and just allow me to be me. Now, speaking of financially, at an average corporate job, I guess my salary was, well, roughly $5,000-6,000 a month, depending where I was and how much I was working, right? Well, I made almost that in one single online transaction as my top sale. So amazing, right? I mean, I could never imagine replacing my monthly salary in only one transaction. When I started, not at all did I expect that or even think that was possible. But it is. Now, it takes a bit of time to grow to that, right? You have to learn, you have to put in the time and the work, just like Garrett said. It's not a get rich quick. But, the possibilities are there when you're committed. And to have fun while you're doing it, amazing. So I just want to share a quick story before I go. It's a little bit personal, but I just really believe in being real. So last year, my father passed away in the middle of COVID when there was so much unknown and difficulties. That just added to it, right? So what happened there, of course, is my mom, she was alone for the very first time. My mom and dad have been married for over 50 years, of course, and they've had this long life together in the traditional sense, thinking back in the day when the woman had a role, the man had a role, and it was kind of a clear defined line, right? And so now that my dad is gone, there's a lot of things my mom doesn't know how to do. And, she's approaching 70, so learning is a little daunting, and she's alone now. And, for her to tackle all that would be overwhelming. But thankfully, because I now control my own schedule, I'm no longer driving hours a day, in the rat race or working on someone else's schedule. And, living up to other people's demands, I'm completely free to be with her and help her anytime, all day long, whatever it takes, whatever she needs. And, when I started this, one of my retirement goals was basically to spend more time with my parents and to give back to them. But now I've been able to do that so much more than I ever imagined, just to be there for my mom. And seeing her have that confidence and that peace of mind now, even though she's alone, is priceless. So, going online is the way to go, obviously. The benefits and the rewards are just unspeakable. It's just absolutely incredible what you can achieve. And that can look different for everybody, right? You can write your own ticket. And so, that's all I wanted to share. And thank you so much for listening. I hope I've inspired even one person.